Alrighty, what is going on, guys? I've got a pretty sweet video for you here today, and as you can see right in front of me, I've got the Bluetti EB55 portable charging station along with the 120 watt solar panels. Now this is just perfect timing for Bluetti to send me this because I've got a threadboat trip coming up in April for the whole month, and I'm going to be camping out solo. It's going to be off-grid, and I'm bringing my bike, so I really want to see if it can charge it up, and if possible, it's going to change the whole trip for me. So that's going to be insane. It can obviously charge like your speaker, your laptop, your camera gear, your phone, all of that stuff. But yeah, we're going to put it to the ultimate test today, see if it can charge that up. If it does, happy days. So we're going to go through some of the specs on it, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy the video, guys. Yeww! So taking a closer look at the unit itself, the battery on the inside of this is actually a 537 watt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. So with the lithium iron phosphate, it just means that you can get a way longer life out of the battery itself than the normal lithium ion batteries. You can get 2,500 life cycles out of this thing once the battery itself is reduced to 80% of its life, which is insane. This thing's gonna last you years and years. It's a really good purchase if you're wanting something long term. Now the actual interface on this, you've got two 240 volt 700 watt AC outputs. Now this is pretty much the selling point for me on this little unit itself. It opens up the options so much for what you can actually do. You can bring a blender with you, you can bring a little camping fridge, charge the e-bike, hopefully we'll figure out if it draws too many watts. You can plug in, yeah, anything really to these two here, as long as it's not going to obviously go over the max amount of watts that this can draw. Just above it, you've got two 12 volt 10 amp DC outputs, along with your little cigarette lighter, which is 12 volt as well. You've got a USB-C 100 watt charger just there, and then under that you've got your normal USB A port charging 5 volt 3 amps. So you've got 4 of those guys there, which is pretty sweet. Your little interface comes on when you press whichever button you are turning on. So like that button there turns on this little port, this button turns on these two, that on off button turns on those. Now you also get a 15 watt wireless charging output on the top there, so you can put your phone up there and it starts charging it up, which is unreal because that opens up one of these USB ports to plug in all of your other stuff to charge. So if you're really wanting to charge all your stuff at once, you can do it. You can actually charge 11 things off this in one go, which is pretty sweet. Now you've got your input up here as well. So there's 2 little plugs there. The one on the right is for the charger that it comes with. So you can plug that into your normal 240 volt at your house, or if you're staying at a hotel or whatever, you can plug that in and charge it up in about 4 hours from dead flat. And then the one on the left here is used for solar panels, and then it also comes with a plug to plug it into your cigarette lighter charging port, I guess, in your car. So as you're driving, you can charge this thing up. Now my thoughts are, as I'm driving, whether or not I can plug it into my car and charge my e-bike battery through this and use this as the inverter, because it's obviously got a built-in inverter inside it. So that's going to be pretty cool to see if that is possible. But right now what we're going to do, we're going to plug in the solar panels, see what sort of wattage we can put into this thing on a cloudy day like it is today, and then we might even go up to the house and plug it in up there and see what sort of watts it puts in with the charger it comes with. So let's get this all set up here, and then we're going to get onto some charging. So on the back of this single panel on this side is where this little bag is. Now this, I've already plugged in the solar panel charger that comes with the battery, or yeah, with the unit itself. So that's already plugged in. It's literally just 2 little clips here. Now the coolest thing is you can actually pretty much do this bag back up and just have your one cable coming out. So super clean look. If you're at your campsite, you don't want heaps of cables running everywhere that you can trip over. So that's unreal. Now we'll set this back up. As you can see on the back, you've got these little tabs that pop out to actually hold it in place. For when you are charging, you can put it on the right angle for the sun to hit it at the max. Now, all right, so get your plug, line it up, plug her in, that pops up straight away. It's not fully charged at the moment, it's at like 60%. And let's have a look what sort of watts we put in this thing right now. That's obviously a really cloudy day. So we've got 14 watts going in, and that's with me standing right in front. On the screen, on my camera, and on the screen that you guys are going to be seeing, that's going to be all flashing just because it's being recorded. It's not actually flashing in real life. The camera just can't pick that up properly. Don't know what that's about, but we're going 19 watts. Every time I step back from it, it goes up to about 30. So that is pretty sweet. It's actually insane that you can just recharge this. I think at that sort of wattage, it would probably take like 8 or 9 hours to charge that thing up to full. We've got the sun coming out now as well, so let's see if it's putting a little bit more in. There we go. The sun coming out, jumping right up to 50 watts. Let's see if there's too much glare on this thing to actually get a reading. 70 watts. Now it's a 120 watt panel, so that'll be the max that this can put in. Woo! Look at the glare off the panels. This is some futuristic stuff. 17 watts on a cloudy day. So you probably want to have this charged up if it's a rainy day or something like that, because you're not going to be putting too many watts in, and you probably don't want to have this sitting out in the rain anyway. So, all right, we're going to go ahead, plug in my speaker here, and I'm going to charge my phone on the top. That goes. Now to turn on the actual, each individual section itself, which there is 1, 2, 3 of, you got to press and hold the little on button down on each section, and then you'll get a little green light, and the display will pop up as well. So we've got that turned on. See how many watts this draws. We're obviously putting watts into it right now with the solar panels. We're not actually taking anything out. That is now charging. Unreal. Where am I going to put this? Set it up top here. Get my phone to charge up. There she goes. She's charging as well. Right, so we have got set 15 watts being put into it through the solar panels, and we're only drawing out 7 watts. Now that's charging the speaker itself and my phone. That's pretty cool. So we're literally charging it, and we're not actually losing anything, which is unreal. I mean, we're losing 7 watts, but it's putting in 15. So this here is the charger it actually comes with. So it does have a built-in fan, as does the unit itself. So when you plug that into the wall to charge it, from hotel, Airbnb, whatever, from your house, if you're staying somewhere, you will hear the fan going, just because it's putting in quite a few watts into the unit when you're charging it through a proper 240 volt, compared to the solar panels. So nothing right now is needing to be cooled down just because it's not pumping watts into it. I think it is about time to see if the e-bike can be charged up by this thing. And I think we're gonna leave this stuff plugged in too, because they're drawing like next to nothing. You could probably charge both of these like 40 or 50 times with one charge of this unit. Now the one thing is, my e-bike is actually a 634 watt hour battery. The battery in this unit is 537 watt hours. So off of very, very basic maths, on one full charge of this, if that was completely dead, I don't think it would charge it to 100%. The other thing is, I barely ever use all of the e-bike battery. It's such a big battery that even in turbo mode, after a 30K ride, you still have like half battery. So that's pretty much where that is at with charge right now. If it was completely dead and that was completely full, I don't think I'd get a full 100% charge on the e-bike, just due to the watt hours of each one. But if I was camping and it was a super sunny day and I had the panels laid out, charging up the Bluetti EB55 while charging my e-bike, I would get 100% full charge, because it'd be charging the actual unit itself and the e-bike. Let's see what happens. Plug that in there, turn it on, so hold it down for a couple seconds till the little light goes green, which it is now. Let's have a look. Output nothing at the moment. Oh, it's turned on, I heard my bike. What have we got? 164 watts. Now this can charge up to 700 watts. So that is drawing like nothing. That's actually staying consistently on 164. Now you're charging a battery up. So that's a very slow, like trickle charge. So that is not gonna draw like massive amounts of power, maybe like a blender would or a power tool or something like that. That's insane. So it's just going off like 164, 165, sitting right on same sort of wattage. So I'll probably have to do some maths to see how long that would take to charge up. A question that a lot of people are going to have is whether or not it charges up the e-bike battery as fast as a normal charger in a house. Now there is a way we can check that, and we already know that it drew about 167 watts. But if we look on the back of the charger itself, which you can barely see on this GoPro, basically the calculation for it is volts times amps equals the watts. I'm actually Googling it. But basically, this is a 42 volt output charger, and it says 4.6 amps. So if we literally go 42 times 4.6 equals 193. So I'm pretty certain I'm doing that calculation right. If I'm not, hit me up in the comments, but that thinks that it should charge at about 193 watts. So that would mean that a normal charger in the house would be charging it only just quicker than what the Bluetti is, which is hectic. So yeah, it's literally going to charge in like maybe an hour more, maybe half an hour more with that amount of watts. But I'm no battery expert. I'm just going off of like pretty basic calculations and just trying to think about how it would all work. So I'm pretty sure that's correct, but if not, hit me up in the comments. But that's very impressive. So it's going to charge up an e-bike battery, which usually takes 6 hours charging from the house, from a fully dead battery. So it's never fully dead because I never ride like 100k on this thing, which is about what you have to do to kill it. But yeah, it's going to charge up from about half charge, which is what I'm usually at the end of a ride, in maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours, I would say. But until we actually test that out on the road, which we will, and I'll film it, we'll know more then. But yeah, that's pretty sick. That is really cool. Now, obviously the panels are in the shade. I've also put this up because it started raining, but we are actually still charging at 13 watts as well. So we're obviously drawing quite a bit more power than what we're putting in, but being a 537 watt hour battery, this thing will charge for quite a while. I can literally go up for the whole month now and ride my e-bike the whole time. So that's just changed the whole trip for me, which is pretty unreal, really. If you're in the market for one of these things, definitely check out Bluetti. They're basically like the one to go for. I have checked out a couple others as well, but the features that this thing gives you for the price is pretty wild. And you can obviously get the solar panels with it as well, which are also the Bluetti brand, so they all just pair up perfectly. I think you can actually buy it in a combo as well, so you can get the battery and the solar panels all in the one thing. So yeah, super stoked with this. All right, pause that for a second. We're gonna plug in to the wall power and see what sort of input we get. All right, flip that up. You can actually hear the fan going on that. It throws in 200 watts. That is pretty impressive. So realistically, I can charge my e-bike, my speaker, my camera gear, and my phone while charging this thing, and I'm probably still gonna be putting more charge into this than what it's actually drawing out. That is pretty damn cool. So we're gonna turn this off because I unplugged my e-bike. So you hold that down, little green light goes away. I think we might go out now and plug it into my car and see what sort of watts it can put into it via that, because I probably will realistically be charging it while I'm driving a fair bit of the time. So let's go and give that a go. Moto, looking fresh. Damn, I love that thing. So have a look at this. Love Australia. Look how many wasps are on that thing. Gnarly. Alright. Car's a little bit messy at the moment. Alright, so that's probably where this thing's going to be living most of the time. And this is the cord that you need. Super nice. It's nice and short as well, which I like. They've definitely thought out the fact that you're probably not going to be running this from the front all the way to the back. So this looks super easy to set up as well. So plug that into there like that. All right. All right, let's have a look at what happens. I wonder if it can charge just by being on like the ignition on. I don't think so. All right, so I'm pretty sure. Plug this thing in. What do I have to do? Just push it in, I think. That's that. Alright, what's going to happen? Usually takes a little bit for it to start. Oh, That's all it takes. Dude, I can have this sitting right here as I'm driving. Throw that there, perfect. That is unreal. Definitely not charging as much as inside, but that is to be expected. Let's see, I wonder if I rev the car, if it actually puts more in. I don't know if this is how it works, but turn on. No, so when I'm driving, I think it's just gonna sit at a pretty consistent, like 70 or 80 watts. Yeah, not sure if while driving makes it charge quicker, but anyway, I guess I'll figure that out. I can hear the fans going on the side here as well, so that inverter's doing its job, keeping it nice and cool, charging her up. Oh man, I am stoked. Like genuinely, this is really cool. I feel quite lucky to be born in the day and age that I have been, because I get to play around with this sort of stuff, so that's actually unreal. So stoked on that. Now I know there's a ton of videos of people like seeing how much stuff they can charge, seeing how many watts they can draw out of this thing. Now I already know it can charge my e-bike and all the other stuff that I'm going to use quite easily. So if you want to suss out like the max amount of watts that you can draw from this thing, I'd probably go and check out some other videos. There's so many out there. But yeah, for what I'm going to use it for, that is pretty cool. And I'm probably more interested in charging it because that's going to be the main thing that I'll be doing. So there's 3 ways you can charge it, and you can do 2 of them at once. So you can literally charge this thing up super fast. But yeah, that's unreal. So seeing how that all works is pretty promising. I'm super stoked with that. And on that note, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. In my car, Bluetti EB55, 120 watt solar panels. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. Check out their website in the link below. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't, guys. Get keen for the Threadbow videos. I'm probably going to have another couple videos coming out before then, just going and riding around the local area. But yeah, Threadbow is going to be insane. I'm going to be basically going from the 1st to the 30th by myself, driving around, finding places to ride and hike and everything. So that's going to be pretty cool. Never done any sort of trip like that or that long. So yeah, Trail Forks is going to be my best friend, just seeing how many trails are around and finding them and riding them, and charging it up with this bad boy and charging up all my other stuff. That's basically solved like a massive, wouldn't say it would, no, it would have been an issue. An esky would have been a nightmare. Charging the phone directly from the car takes forever. Yeah, and I wouldn't have been able to charge my e-bike, which is like the main thing, because I don't even have another mountain bike I could have brought. So that solved quite a few issues for me. So yeah, anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash thumbs up button, comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you haven't, check out Bluetti's website in the description below, and yeah, have a good day guys, see you later. Yeww!